studio line. You can check them out, allprorooterandplumbing.com. Busy 4 o'clock hour lays in front of us. We'll talk about Arizona and their road trip to Phoenix. We'll talk Star Wars. We'll talk Arizona football. We'll talk D-backs. Don't forget in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll talk to Arizona baseball coach Jay Johnson. Cats at home this weekend, welcoming the Huskies Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Always looking forward to talking to Coach. That'll be 5:22. But let's get into this right here, right now. Arizona's been doing this for the last few years. I think it was Greg Byrne that started it. I can't remember if it was happening before him, maybe in one way or the other. But the whole, Arizona is Wildcat Country movement and this caravan that they do, I like it. They go to Flagstaff, they go to Prescott, they go to Nogales, but they go to Yuma. They go all over. The University of Arizona, right? It's a statewide brand. They want it to be that way. So Arizona goes to Phoenix last night, and they've been doing this every year. They take Sean Miller, they take Rich Rodriguez. I saw Dave Rubio, I saw Adia Barnes, and they go somewhere, and I don't know where they were last night in Phoenix. It looked like it could have been at Four Peaks, but I couldn't tell. And they have a big rally, right? It makes a ton of sense. Go into the heart of the beast and see if you can't sell yourself. Phoenix is a huge market. It's huge. And I think if you exclude football from the equation, Arizona does pretty well in the Valley. Now, if we're talking about selling tickets, football probably does the best, at least on a raw number basis, because there are less games. They're usually on Saturdays. Right, it's hard to come down on a Thursday night from Phoenix to go to a basketball game. I'm sure some people do it, but it's not easy. I think for the most part, Arizona does well in Phoenix. They've done a good job of trying to brand themselves in the Valley the best that they can. And it's not easy. Arizona State, while it may not be as popular in Phoenix as Arizona is in Tucson because of the professional sports draws that Phoenix has and the number of transplants, but still, Arizona's done well. They have the medical campus downtown. You see the billboards all over the place. I think Arizona's done a good job. And, Dave Hickey, people say, I've been hearing this a lot, say, oh, Dave, he gets it, man. Yeah, he gets it. I'm not saying he doesn't, but it would be pretty hard to not get this, to look at this market, to look at this model and say, oh, yeah, we don't need Phoenix. Nobody's going to say that. Here's Dave Hickey last night.
We're the University of Arizona. We're not the University of Tucson. We're the University of Arizona. We're a national brand. We want to be throughout the entire state. And certainly this market, with a number of alums that we have here, all the people here, this is a very, very important area. So we're going to invest in it and be here a lot.
And it's not as if it's a foreign area. I know that Arizona State has the predominant market share there, but man, I don't know how many of you went to Arizona. Maybe some of you went to the UofA and are from Phoenix, but I had 4 college roommates. All of them were from Phoenix. All of them. So it's not as if it's foreign territory there, that it's alien. Whoa, blue and red. What's that block A? I don't know. I've never seen it before. But you got to go up there and you got to strike. Tucson, Southern Arizona is a decent-sized market. You got about 1 million people down here. If you go from, I don't know, Casa Grande down, not including Casa Grande, right? About 1 million people. Phoenix has 4 times that in a much smaller area. So the fishing, as it were, is a lot easier up there. And so you got to take advantage of it. You got to sell. And this caravan thing is a good idea. It's a good idea. Let's go to the phones, 298-1490. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing good. So I want to hear your opinion on UofA football scheduling North Dakota State, the FBS killer, in 2022, and then also scheduling them in basketball next year.
Hey, Brandon, thanks for the phone call. Look, those FCS games are nobody's favorite. But if you are going to, and I'm okay with, I've said this before, if you want to schedule one, excellent. Do that. Don't schedule more than that, please. And you really should probably only schedule one every other year unless it's NAU. But if you are going to schedule an FCS, you should go and try to find the best one possible. But here's the thing. Brandon, is that game is in 2022. That's 5 years from now, 6 years from now. We have no idea what either program is going to look like. That's why I love football scheduling so much. Yeah, well, we've got these home and home series with Mississippi State coming in 2074 and the return trip in 2083. It's like, well, I'll be dead by then. But boy, that football does sure sound exciting. And as far as basketball, Arizona's non-conference scheduling. Brandon, thanks for the phone call. I know it's tough, but I'd like to see Arizona get tougher. I'd like to see that. Sean Miller said yesterday that, he didn't say Chance Comanche's not coming back, Raleigh Alkins is not coming back, but he did say that he's looking to add 2 more guys, 2 more players. Now, that could be Kobe's spot, and maybe Talbot Denny's not coming back for his, medical 6th year. But maybe he's talking about having to replace Comanche and Alkins. It sounds like Sean Miller is preparing for life without them. And, you can take this as now I don't think Chance or Raleigh is coming back. I don't think Chance is coming back anyway. I'm still, when we talk about Raleigh Alkins, I think he's on the fence just like everybody else is. And it's possible that the combine and the information could make it a more difficult choice. Now, having the information is good, and having as much as you can get is good, but sometimes you have all this information, you go, now I don't know what to do with it. I mean, what if Raleigh thinks that he's a mid-second rounder now, and he plays his way onto the fringe of the first round, but has that notion that he can come back next year and then will be a first-round draft pick next year? It's hard to give up that guaranteed money. But it sounds like Sean Miller's preparing for life without Chance and Raleigh, but that's not news, yo. They're in the combine. Would Sean Miller be doing his job? Would he be a responsible head basketball coach if he was just straight assuming both of them would come back? No, he wouldn't be. So whether these guys were 99% to come back or 99% to leave, he would have to prepare for them not to be here. So when he says things like that, you can interpret it however you want, but here on the Zach Clark Show, we like to apply this filter called reality. And you really got to think about it. Again, I think Raleigh's 50-50. If I had to decide, I'm flipping a coin. Chance Comanche doesn't seem like he wants to go to college, and I get that. When I was his age, I didn't want to go to college either, so I didn't. I didn't start till I was 22. I will say, when Sean Miller goes out and does these public things and you see these videos and he's smiling and he's signing autographs and shaking hands, Sean Miller truly is one of the great actors of our time. I give him a lot of credit for that. He understands the importance of going out, especially in a place like Phoenix, and selling yourself. He doesn't have to do that here. He doesn't have to go out and shake anybody's hand. In fact, if Sean Miller wanted, he could walk around and give every single person the finger in their face. Oh, hey, coach, how you doing? Bam, finger. And you know what would happen? Nothing. Nothing would happen. Arizona would still win 30-some games a year. He'd still keep getting contract extensions. And those that were given the bird so brazenly would probably still love him. Hey, Steve, what'd you do today? Oh, dude, I had the best day. You'll never guess what happened. Oh, no, Steve, do tell. Dude, I saw Sean Miller. Bro, totally gave me the finger. Yeah, he looked right at me and everything. It was awesome. I'm never watching this face again because Sean Miller stared into my eyes. I'm going to dip my face in gold so it can be hung on my wall. Right? But if Sean goes to Phoenix and flips the bird to everybody, well, he's not going to get the same return. So he understands what his job entails. And sometimes he has to pretend he likes people. Very difficult. I don't know how he does it, but he does. You think Sean wants to be in Tempe shaking people's hands and talking about Bobby Hurley? I don't know. Did you say the word film in there? You didn't? No, he doesn't want to be there then. You think he flew? And if he didn't, you think there was film in the car? Oh, yeah. And that's fine. Like, I'm fine with Sean Miller being a robot. He's a robot that's programmed to win basketball games. Oh, not Final Four games. Yeah, guy in the background. I knew somebody was going to say that. But so truly, one of the great actors of our time. Stacey, is this a Family Guy reference where Fred Savage is the greatest actor of all time because he's playing everybody. Is that
Yes.
okay? I didn't make that up.
No, he was playing. Oh, who was he?
He was playing
He was
other
playing
actors.
like Rush Limbaugh and
Was that the one with the Fox News one
yeah,
where Lois started working for Fox News?
I believe so.
Anyway, I think if we're gonna have that conversation with Fred Savage, we got to put Sean Miller up in there somewhere.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Michael Moore.
That's
Like
what it
Fred
was.
Savage was playing both Michael Moore
and Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah,
That's right.
At the same time.
That's right. And the greatest actor of all time, Fred Savage. But Sean Miller does about as well. Now, here's something. I'm going to play you something that I got to tell you, man. I'm so tired of hearing this. I am so tired of hearing about it. Here, take a listen.
Dave's been great. He understands the importance of it. We even talked about it this morning a little bit. And, you know, as coaches, we don't have a lot of patience. We want to do it now. But for our program to continue to grow or to grow to the next step, we need to have an indoor yesterday. Oh! And Dave has a sense of urgency, so I'm lucky he's on board.
Oh, the I word. I am so sick and tired of hearing about the damn indoor facility. Hey, 2 words. Not happening. Not happening. It's not happening. Now, eventually, yes, it will. But here's when I look at Arizona Stadium. I see a building that needs about $150 million worth of facelift. Oh, you got money for a practice facility, though? Oh, okay. Show me you got $10 million. Good, because we're 140 short on the football stadium. Do you get that? Do y'all understand this? Does Rich understand it? Does Dave Hickey understand this? Yeah, you know what I want to? I want to dunk. But unless I'm at home playing on my little Tykes thing, dominating my son, it's not happening. It's a nice want, though, isn't it? Yeah, I want to dunk. You want a practice facility? Take off your cleats and throw the football around on the McHale Center floor because it's the closest you're going to come. It's not happening. Will it happen eventually? Yeah, but I'd be shocked if Hickey was the athletic director and Rich was the coach when it did. It's not happening. I don't know why Rich keeps parroting it. The thing is, he keeps saying it's going to happen. Maybe I'll just keep saying it. Maybe it'll happen. No, it won't. No, it won't. This isn't even about sports. This is an economics lesson. Do you have the money? No. Is it your top priority? No. Is it going to happen? No. Did you see that? You see how easy that was? Let's try it again. Is it going to happen? Yep, that's right. No. I feel like I watch these little kid shows, right? And they turn and break the fourth wall and they ask questions. And they always wait, though, right? You know, do you see the mystery mousecatool that will help us rescue Daisy from the... And all the characters pause and, like, look at you, which is creepy. And then, you know, they answer the question, like they wait. I just did that. Like, I waited for you to answer, and I pretended I heard what you said, and that you gave me the right answer. Shut up about the indoor stadium, or the indoor facility, everybody. That's the way you make money. That's the business model. Oh, wait. No, it's not. See? This is all...
But you take some of your salary there and put towards it there. I'm just saying.
Hey, I got an idea. Stock options for Sean. The ones for Greg are out. The ones for Rich. Let's cash those suckers in. There we go. Oh, no, well, I'm not sure we need a indoor per se. You know, I mean, we could just cross the street like we've been doing. I mean, you know, if you... Do you think? I mean, do you think if we could say, Rich, cut your salary in half and you can have an indoor, you think he'd do it? I bet he would.
Ooh.
In half, he's still making over to be like $2 million. He would do it.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. But I'd ask an even tougher one. You want this indoor? You work for free. Half of it right there. Boom. That's it. That's it. I'm starting a GoFundMe page for Arizona's indoor facility, but I only want contributions from the football coaches themselves, all making good money.
Yep.
All of them. That's how we're going to do it. If you're going to make the kids pay, I want the coaches to pay too. 10%. You know, there are evangelical Christians that call that tithing. And there are football players and coaches that treat football like a religion. Start tithing, people. 10%. And if you don't want to do it, shh. I'm already angry, so the next segment's going to be perfect. I'm going to tell you how much I hate Star Wars. That's next on ESPN Tucson, 1490 and 104.9 FM. One of the greatest guitarists of all time, that is Santana. Maria Maria is the song here on Throwback Thursday, thanks to our friend Crystal Pino. Catch her 6 to 10 weekday mornings on 106.3 The Groove, where it is always Throwback Thursday. We'll get into more Arizona Wildcats football, and no, I will not yell about the indoor practice facility. That's not happening. We'll talk more about Donovan Tate, Arizona's newest quarterback, 26 years old. Interesting story. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. We'll also talk about the Diamondbacks in this hour. Jay Johnson joins us at 5:22. We'll talk some Arizona baseball with him. So, circling the wagons back around, let's identify ourselves here, Stacy. You, Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Me.
I enjoy it.
Me, not Star Wars fan. Okay. So we've identified ourselves for the purpose of this conversation. Very good. So the thing with today, and I don't, normally on days where they release Star Wars trailers or when the movie comes out, I'm just like, oh my God, somebody please just punch me right in the eyes and the ears so I don't have to see or hear any more of this. But today, I don't blame all of you because people like Stacy also don't like today.
Correct.
Because it is stupid.
I mean, I don't mind today. I just don't like what people have created.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't mind the 4th of May. It's just like the 3rd of May as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
It's the first week of May. I don't mind it either. The numeral has nothing to do with the way I feel about it or the fact that it's Thursday. I mean, Thursday's fun. It's Throwback Thursday. Cool. All right. But this whole like, hey, look at how clever I am. Look at this meme that everybody else has already sent to you. I'll send it to you as well. In fact, Stacy, right now, I am looking at an email that you have probably gotten as well.
Oh, yeah.
There are 6 of them in the email chain talking about May the 4th be with you and lightsabers and Star Wars costumes. And oh my God, do we have anything else to do?
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
I'm counting. It says
I deleted it. So.
Well, it says it's got the little counter of how many are in the chain. It says
Yeah.
5 here.
Oh.
There's 5 of them.
I got 7.
Oh, cool. I only got. I must have missed 2. Excellent. Why you got looped in? I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to know. And today reminds me, not that I need a reminder because Star Wars has become so obsessive to begin with, but it has reminded me that I'm like in such a crushingly small minority of people that just don't care. Like I don't care.
And that's fine.
I know it's fine, but you know what, Stacey?
I do care.
But hold on, it's not fine. I mean, I'm not talking about you specifically, but for the most part, I'm a rube. I'm a loser. I'm a square because I don't get my jollies watching some faraway land with lightsabers and make believe. But I'm the loser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Tell me you have at least seen the Family Guy episodes.
Yes, but I have, but here's the thing: being a,
I get that you don't get all the references.
I don't get almost any of them. Like I don't.
But they're still at least funny, correct?
Yeah, kinda.
You still enjoy them.
Yeah, kinda. But I feel like they would be funnier if I knew what they were talking about.
Okay.
Well, I don't.
I'm just saying,
Like,
if
if
you've
you-
at least watched the Family Guy episodes, you can. It's an enjoyable way of watching Star Wars, I guess you'd say. If you don't like the whole sci-fi genre of movies.
Well, I don't even know. It's not that I dislike. Well, no, I don't. I don't like sci-fi. That is correct. But the thing for me now, if this was a singular thing that I could watch, I may. I probably wouldn't, but I may. But at this point, oh my God, it would take me days, weeks to catch up. I'm not kidding. How long are each movie?
If you were to sit down,
Are there 9 of them now, or are there 6 of them?
No, there's
9
So there's the original trilogy
plus 3 plus.
plus 3 plus a new one
So there's
plus a spin-off referencing what happened between, was it 5 and 6? That's the thing. I mean, and then you also have the TV shows. There's a
I thought.
ton.
Wait a second. I thought the TV shows was Star Trek.
No, Star Trek.
Yeah, like
Yeah, there's Star Trek.
yeah, but I thought that was.
And that also has movies.
Yeah, I know.
Star Trek movies.
I didn't know there was a Star Wars TV show.
Yeah, there's the cartoons, the Clone Wars, things like that.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay, so I get flack sometimes because I like cartoons. You know, like I like Family Guy, King of the Hill, The Simpsons, Futurama, Archer. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I like adult, but I mean, I'm not. If I'm going to watch a cartoon like that, you better bring me some early 90s Ninja Turtles. Because that's what I think about. That's what I'm equating it to.
I tried
BoJack
watching
Horseman.
it once. Yeah, I turned it off.
Wait, did you count? Isn't there a Lego Star Wars movie? Did we count that one?
I don't believe we. I don't even know how many there are.
That's
what
why
I'm
this
trying
is
to
stupid.
get at.
That's why it's stupid. How could you even? It's like the Fast and the Furious. There is now
8,
but there's gonna be.
Is there going to be 9? I don't know.
They would be so stupid not to make another one. Look, you've already sold out like a million times. Just keep doing it. You're total sellouts
Yeah, I mean,
now.
you're selling hundreds of millions of
Yeah,
dollars.
you'd be crazy not to make another one. Just keep making the movies. I mean, are they terrible? Yes, but do they make money? Yes, absolutely they do. So yeah, keep doing it. I don't know. Let me ask you this. You turn the tables on me. What is it about?
What is what about?
Star Wars. What's it about? This great story that everybody loves so much. What the hell is it about? Well, see. I mean, if you look at it this way, but then over here, I mean, if you go back, but then now.
Yeah, I mean, finding your inner self, who you really are. You know,
What is this? An
just
episode of Doctor Phil?
turmoil.
Dr. Phil? Cash me outside. How about that? Is that what this is?
Father-son relationship? It's all kinds of stuff. It's story of good
Father-son
and evil.
Wait, so it's a father-son movie like Maverick? I mean, what? I mean, come on, it's not.
That's a great movie.
Oh
by
no,
the
I
way.
didn't say it wasn't, but I mean, would you call it a father-son movie? I mean, it has that. If you haven't seen it, I won't explain it. Though if you haven't seen it, you're like 25 years too late. Different story.
Still recommend going and seeing it.
In fact, you know how bad the traffic was at the Final Four in Phoenix? Stacy and I were able to watch almost the entire film Maverick in our RV in the parking lot before that dang thing cleared out, right?
Yes.
And then we went and got Panda, and it was awesome.
Yep.
God, I love cheap Chinese food. It's the best. I don't know, and I'm sure most of you have turned off the radio right now because you're like,
So the whole point of this is
screw everybody that likes
whether
Star
you
Wars.
like Star Wars or not, let's get over this. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. Like Lou
Okay.
Holt. I'm starting calling it Lou Holtz Day. Like, we need to get over this. It's force. 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 Force.
I love Star Wars. I really enjoy it. I might watch it tonight. You know, I might watch one of the shows tonight.
Oh, wait.
Whoa.
No. You're celebrating the day. You can't trash it and then watch one of the movies tonight.
Why not? No. I can watch it. I can enjoy it. I don't have to shove it down everybody's throat.
Yes, you do.
You're
You're not allowed to be a Star Wars fan if you don't. That's how that works. It's like being vegan. You got to keep screaming about it.
I don't have to be that, though. I don't have to be annoying. I don't have to go with the crowd
I
on
would
that.
argue that you're not a Star Wars fan then.
All right.
Because to me, it's just like those that are, you got to tell people. They got to know how cool you are and
No, I really don't.
how many different colored lightsabers you have. And
How big a sheep I am.
get it. Sheep.
You know, they just follow each other. Follow the herd.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was a Star Wars reference there that I
No.
wasn't getting. I was like, there were sheep in Star Wars? No, you're talking about just like sheep, like
Yeah.
sheeple.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, okay, I get it. Sorry, again, I don't know. I thought there was a Star Wars. I'm like, I don't remember there being livestock in this movie, but I don't know. There was that alien thing that raced
No,
around.
they don't
and-
need in Star Wars. Come on.
Oh, it's so advanced. Or is it in the past? I don't know. Is it in the future? Is it in the past? Do we know?
It's in the past. At the very beginning, it starts out a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, but that was like 40 years ago. But when will it be now? Soon. If we're talking about that, I'll get my Spaceballs reference in for the day. We'll talk Arizona Wildcats football when we come back here on ESPN Tucson 1490 and 1049 FM. Memorial Day is just around the corner, and Mattress Firm, doing what they always do to celebrate major holidays, they are selling mattresses at Wouldn't have been the song I would have went with, but you can't really go wrong with Cypress Hill in my book. Huge Cypress Hill fan, this guy right here. Crystal Pino hooking us up with the jams as she does every Thursday. Thanks to her in 106.3 The Groove. These are Groove-approved old school jams. We'll talk D-backs baseball here in a few minutes. I'm not mad about today. When you play a guy or you oppose a guy like Max Scherzer, it's going to happen. In fact, Forrest Gump invented a bumper sticker that would explain what happened today. But there was no excuse for what happened yesterday. We'll talk about that. Now we'll talk Arizona football. And by now you've heard, I'm sure, that Donovan Tate has walked on to the Arizona football team or will walk on to the Arizona football team. And for you baseball nerds, you're going, man, that name, it sounds so familiar. Yes, in 2009, he was the 3rd overall pick of the San Diego Padres out of a high school in Georgia. And, Stacy, as I look at this list, you're going to recognize a lot of names here. The 1st overall pick was Steven Strasburg. In fact, the Diamondbacks have a couple of these guys on their roster. A.J. Pollock, Shelby Miller. Mike Trout was picked in this draft. And, Stacy, Strasburg went first.
Never heard of any of these guys.
No. I mean, you look at guys like, there are questions about Mike Trout being the most complete player in the game. Steven Strasburg has had his injury problems, but, he's one of the most heralded pitching prospects ever. A.J. Pollock's having a good career with the Diamondbacks. Shelby Miller, I don't need to say much about him. We've talked about him more than we've probably talked about any other baseball player in the last year and a half. So, Stacey, this kid's 26. Hasn't played football since he was in high school, where he was a top recruit. Signed on to play football and baseball for North Carolina. When I think about Arizona in general, I think about risk. And I think about the risk they've taken on players in the past, whether big risk or not. And now, you can't tell me this is no risk. Oh, well, Zach, he's walking on. It's not worth the scholarship. True. But if this kid's going to get reps, that means Khalil Tate and Brandon Dawkins will get less. I don't know how many less, 1, 2, 10, but they're not free. This isn't free. If this young man's going to compete for a starting job, he's going to have to actually compete for it, which will include him getting reps, which will take away from Tate, the other Tate, or Dawkins. And I just... Most of Arizona's risks have not paid off. Gerard Randall, and again, these weren't huge risks. They didn't have to mortgage their futures as this was a professional sport where you have to trade up, sign away big dollars, give away leverage. It's not that by any sense of the imagination. Freddie Tagaloa didn't work out. Devontae Neal didn't work out. I mentioned Gerard Randall, didn't work out. The defensive lineman from LSU didn't work out. Arizona has not, any 4-star linebacker they've recruited didn't work out. When Arizona's had to take a risk, it hasn't worked out. It didn't necessarily hurt him, but I don't see Donovan Tate as being anything more than a body. Well, Zach, you don't know. Well, he doesn't either. He hasn't played football in forever. 8 years. And plus, if he's competing, legitimately competing for a job, what does that tell you about where Arizona is right now? Oh, man, we need a quarterback. Hey, you know anybody? Well, yeah, there's this kid hasn't played football in 8 years. Oh, can he throw? Oh, yeah, bring him in. Yeah, bring him in. 95 on the gun. Yeah, coach, this is football, though. Ah, yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him. And I know Rich Rod, like a car collector or a coin collector, likes to have a large collection. He likes to have a lot of quarterbacks. It's his thing. So when I hear competing for a job, are you going to bring in a guy to not compete for a job? Oh, you brought him here to sit. Yeah, he's going to sit over there and look pretty. Hey, how you doing, baby? Yeah, you look good over there. Yeah. No, man. Don't you bring in everybody to compete? Don't 105 guys plus even the walk-ons, even the red shirts. Everybody competes. It's football. Without being too cliche, indeed, competition is the name of the game. Yeah, brought him in to compete. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to question his athleticism. At one time, a great baseball player. This kid, out of high school, taken third overall, $6.25 million. You don't just give that kind of money to somebody that you don't think has potential. Now, as we know, any kind of draft is going to be somewhat of a crapshoot. There's also been some off-the-field problems for Tate. Trouble with marijuana, trouble with alcohol, and I don't say those things lightly. I don't say that with any disrespect, but it's a thing. In fact, I think 2 inpatient rehabilitation stints for substance abuse. There has been an injury in the past. I mean, this kid has been around the block, and for 26 years old, he's been around more blocks than most people. There's no question about that. But I look at this, and I don't like talking about Tim Tebow because it just becomes this big shouting match with flamethrowers, no matter what side you're on, every time it seems. But the things I say about Tim Tebow on the field themselves, his personality notwithstanding, the things I say about him playing baseball are the things that I'm going to say about Donovan Tate playing football. Just because you used to means you can do it now? No. Maybe. But you can't bet on that. So you're going to have a guy that's out of football for 8 years come in and start taking reps? I don't know. Is this nothing? Is this desperation? Am I talking about this because it's May 4th and there's not a whole lot going on here in Tucson? But think about this. What if he wins the job? What does that say? That's what I keep thinking about. I'm way overstepping myself here because let me just tell you something. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. No way. But let's just make believe, right? Pretend time. What if it does happen? What does that say? What do you do? I mean, the dude's got 5 years to play for. He's 31. He could be my age playing quarterback at Arizona right now. And again, I'm not judging him for wanting to go back to school at his age. I never would do that. I didn't graduate till I was 27. I have no room to say a word to anybody that wants to pursue academic pursuits at any age, whether you're 12, 25, 40, or 90. It doesn't matter. You know, and maybe for him, it's just about the education. And if you could walk on and play a little football while you're there, why not? I don't know. This story to me is interesting. But at the same time, it's really only interesting from a not on the field standpoint. On the field, I don't see this going anywhere. But again, Arizona needs bodies. Their draft class didn't work out the way they had hoped that it would. But if we're categorizing, or I should say cataloging, the risks that Arizona has taken in the past, most of them, while they weren't big risks, as in Arizona didn't lose out on a ton, but they weren't able to capitalize on certain things that they thought they would be able to. I mean, you think you're getting an NFL lineman in Fede Tagaloa? You're not. You think you're getting an All-American type athlete in Devontae Neal? You didn't. I mean, maybe the athlete part, but it didn't translate as a football player. You think you're getting this freak athlete of a quarterback in Gerard Randall that has all the tools that you would hope to be able to run Rich's offense, and he couldn't. So does Donovan Tate end up in that category? Or as an oddity, Brandon Weeden? Worked out for Brandon Weeden as far as Oklahoma State is concerned, right? And it worked out for him as well. He was a first-round draft pick. I don't think that part has worked out as well for the team that drafted him. Certainly not. Cleveland. But we've seen it work other places, just Arizona's track record for this specific task has not been there. It's not been up to par. That's crazy. You're going to have like an 18-year-old taking reps next to a 26-year-old. I mean, a kid that could be a graduate assistant taking reps with the coach's kid. What a weird summer it will be. We'll talk more Arizona Wildcats at 5:05. We'll get into their road trip. They were in Phoenix yesterday. Dave Hickey, Rich Rodriguez, Adia Barnes, Sean Miller. A caravan of good tidings from Tucson to Phoenix. We'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock hour. Also, Jay Johnson at 5:22. Coming up next, a little Diamondbacks baseball chatter here on ESPN Tucson 1490 and 104.9 FM. Hey Mama by the Black Eyed Peas here on Throwback Thursday. Thank you to Crystal Pino for always setting us up with the music. You can check her out 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday on 106.3 The Groove. In the 5 o'clock hour, we'll talk Arizona football and basketball. Jay Johnson joins us 5:22, plus NBA playoffs. And Stacey, did you hear that Floyd Mayweather wants to buy an NBA team? And I'll tell you what.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm all for it. Greatest idea ever. He'd be so good as an owner. So good.
Dude's got enough money to buy one.
And guess what he likes to do with it? Spend it. Yes. He's not looking over the books like an accountant. He wants to spend that money. Yes. I'm so in. All in. We'll talk about that in today's last call. Let's get into the Diamondbacks. You heard them earlier this morning, oddly enough. A little morning baseball coverage began at 9:30 here on ESPN Tucson. Today is why yesterday was so damn important. Anytime Max Scherzer pitches, now you're not guaranteed a heroic type performance out of him, but I would think if you're a manager, if you're a player, if you're any part of his opposition, do you go in assuming that's what's going to happen? Because I think you should. And that is what happened today. He was at the top of his game, and there was nothing the Diamondbacks could do about it. Nothing. And that's okay. I am not upset that the Diamondbacks lost today, though they did have opportunities. But a guy like Max Scherzer, one of the reasons he is so good is because while you may get the opportunities, he's not going to let you capitalize on them. That's why he's so good. But I go back to yesterday, losing yesterday. When you limit an offense as powerful, as potent as the Washington Nationals to 2 runs, you have to win that game. It's not an option. When your defense plays that well, when Robbie Ray pitches as well as he does, you have to win. You have to win. And they didn't. And now they are forced, in my opinion, to take 2 out of 3 starting tomorrow in Denver, which they lost the series in Phoenix to Colorado. Not that ensures they won't win this one, but, man, you talk about unpredictable things. Is the most unpredictable place in baseball Coors Field? Is it the most erratic place to play baseball? I think so. You just don't know. The weather, the atmosphere, literally, creates differences there than aren't really felt anywhere else. Though I will say, if the ball's going to travel the second furthest, maybe it's in Phoenix. How many teams play near sea level? Most of them. Not Phoenix. Certainly not Denver. But everybody else basically does, right? Shoot. How many teams play on the water? Many of them, right? I'm serious. Does Pittsburgh still play on the water? They used to. 3 Rivers. Certainly San Francisco does. San Diego basically does. Miami's floating in water, so the Marlins do. So my point is that the Diamondbacks, if anybody's going to be comfortable playing in Colorado, it should be Phoenix because they share a commonality in that they're not at sea level. But, that's like the nerdiest way to look at baseball. Well, let me tell you about tonight's game, huh? Yeah, let's talk about atmospheric pressure at sea level. Yeah, right. Who cares about that? The other thing is, today was not Braden Shipley's fault. He pitched pretty well, all things considered, but he was outdueled by a much, much, much more experienced and more talented pitcher in Max Scherzer. So forget about that. But what we learned is that, one, before they decide on a 5th starter, the defense has got to get better behind him. The last couple of days has been ugly. But Lovello needs to decide who that 5th pitcher is. Are you waiting for Ruby De La Rosa? He's in Visalia still, trying to ramp himself up. I don't want it to be Archie Bradley, but Stacey, how do you feel about this? You and I are in agreement. We like Archie Bradley where he is. It may not be the most glamorous role, but it's an important one. If the option is rotating random spot starters or Archie Bradley, do you take the spot starters or do you move Bradley? Because I move Bradley at that point. If your only option is rotating guys between call-ups and the bullpen or Archie Bradley, what do you do? At that point, I'm going, I give up. I wave the flag and say take him. I still don't like it, but I think you have to at that point.
I think it depends on how your other starters are doing.
That's what I keep telling people is, okay, if you're comfortable moving because Miller's out for like over a year.
Yes.
So it's not like, well, we'll kick it around until we figure it out, or he'll come back first.
And is this a situation where you need to go start looking for an arm right now? A starting pitcher right now that you can put in there.
We were just talking about the other day of looking for a closer. It's only so many assets to go around, but maybe for right now the closing spot is okay. I don't know, Stacey. They got to figure it out, and my hope is that they figure it out sooner rather than later. Jay Johnson, Arizona head baseball coach at 5:22. We'll talk Arizona football and basketball in that 5 o'clock hour, as well as some NBA playoffs. That's next on ESPN Tucson, 1490, 104.9 FM.